Okay, all my curly haired friends can empathize with what just happened to me. It's really, really hot and humid in Miami. It's really, really hot and humid in Miami. And so I got home from the gym this morning at 6 a.m. I work out at 5 because I'm crazy. And when I got home, it was overcast. I'm like, I'm going to wash my hair, blow dry it, and I'm going to walk outside and it's going to look like this. So I just started like this today. So I'm very excited to be with you guys. Thank you so much for listening, subscribing to my channel. I just want to talk a little bit about leadership today. So I've had the privilege to be a leader with many, many different organizations over the course of about 15 years. And I've had teams that are anywhere from 2 people to 100 people, and those that are in offices and remote. Right now, I have an Amazon company. I have a printing company with my husband, and we have several real estate companies. And so the thing that I want to talk you through a situation that I'm dealing with right now with my Amazon company. I'm an Amazon DSP, and so I have about 90 drivers, and we run 30 routes. And me as a leader, I think some really, really critically important things is staying connected to every single one of my drivers and ensuring that they know that I'm there for them. So I had an operations manager that was on my team, and then I have 4 dispatchers that worked on my team. And my operations manager got another opportunity, and he had a chance to move on. And so with his departure, we did a beautiful dinner for him just to celebrate the time that he was with us. He was with us for about 9 months. And we started a conversation as a leadership team about what the future is going to look like for our organization. My option was to hire another operations manager or to split up the duties between my existing team members. So we sat down before my operations manager left, and I highly recommend this to any of you. If you have somebody that is in a critically, and I learned this when I went to the Dartmouth School of Business, I was part of a minority leaders program, and they just drilled this into our head, and I can't overemphasize this to you, is that you as your organization, the most important thing that you can do is protect your processes and what you're doing and document them. So they said if you have done nothing, you have to make sure that you set up SOPs. SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. Standard Operating Procedure. SOP is basically a document, and I'll share a link so that you guys can download an example of some of mine that you're saying, hey, this is a process. And I'll give an example, which would be like onboarding a driver. This is a process that my operations manager does that I'm going to have to pass on to someone else. When somebody resigns from your company, the first thing that you need to be doing is ensuring that that person sits down for the next 2 weeks and documents every single thing that they do, and begin to create a culture that everyone knows within your team when we start a new process, when we have a new platform, that we create an SOP. So in the SOP, we're essentially saying onboarding a new driver. We're saying who created it, the date that it created the SOP, and we're giving step-by-step directions. One of the things that we like to do is we like to do screenshot videos because that tends to really help the learning process. We have a lot of remote employees under my organizations, and so we use a platform called Berrycast. And I got Berrycast off of another website that's called AppSumo. If you guys do not know about AppSumo, you need to be using AppSumo. So AppSumo is essentially a platform where it is new and upcoming websites, apps. So it's everything from digital downloads of photos to project management software to payroll to invoice, sorry, no payroll, I'm lying. Project management software to time tracking to, in this case, it was video, screenshot training type of things, and it's called Berrycast. So AppSumo puts these deals up there, and this is perfect for a small business or for entrepreneurs. They put this app out there, and the goal is to get people onto the app, so they offer it at a crazy discounted price. So let's say that Berrycast is normally, I don't know, $59 a month. You're getting it for $59 for a lifetime access. And usually they give you all the features, and the goal is to increase their subscribers and to increase the users so they get people testing it. So it's a really, really great website to utilize. And one of the things that they also do is that they have a 60-day refund policy. So if you try the platform and it doesn't work for you, just go online. It's like the beginnings of Groupon. It's super, super easy to just ask for a refund. So that was a tangent. Apologize about that, but great things. Plug for AppSumo. So one of the things that I use is Berrycast, and my ops manager who just left, one of the things that he did is he recorded videos, screenshots essentially describing, okay, this is how you onboard a driver. He'll do a text in the Word document. We keep everything on Google Drive. We're big Google Drive people. And that's really important for you as a business owner, is that you preserve your information. So make sure that when you set people up on Google, you get G Suite or something like that, is that you're not having people create their own generic emails, is that they're under your organization. So when that person leaves their organization, Google makes it very easy for you to deactivate the person and assign all of their files or all of their emails to yourself or to someone who's going to replace them. So when my ops manager left, all I did was say deactivate his email, and they say, where is his files going? Where's his calendar going? Where's his, so no information is getting lost. So in the SOP, we essentially put all the directions and recorded the video and created a link to the video. So all somebody has to do, the next person who has to onboard someone, is they look up the SOP for onboarding somebody, and it's right there, step by step. So that's a really, really important thing as you look at organizing your team and the structure and the protection of the information, because every single team member that contributes something to you, you're paying them for their time, you're paying them for their experience, you're paying them for their knowledge. So you need to make sure that that knowledge doesn't walk away from your organization as you grow. So the process, to get back to the point of this, the process that we went through with our operations manager is we said, okay, let's sit down and let's look at what are all of the things that you do. And we put it on an Excel spreadsheet. And we said, okay, what needs an SOP? What doesn't need an SOP? And then he started building out all his SOPs, and then we started categorizing it. In the example of my Amazon business, and if there's any Amazon DSPs out there, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My website for my drivers is hermesdeliveries.com, and my email is barbara@hermesdeliveries.com. So feel free to ask me any questions about any of this, the structure of my company, etc. So when we looked at all of the responsibilities that my operations manager had, we essentially created buckets. We created a scheduling bucket and all the duties that they were responsible for. We created a performance management bucket, all the things that person was responsible for, everything from writing up warnings to providing coaching. We had a fleet manager, somebody who oversees all of our vehicles and the maintenance of those vehicles and the vendors associated with those vehicles. And then lastly was inventory. We have a lot of stuff. We got uniforms and phones and chargers and cables and lots of license plates and registrations. And then we had a role that was fit for that. So then I shared all of those roles with my 4 supervisors in our weekly team meetings. So I have a front half group of 2 supervisors. I have a Wednesday overlap day. So they work 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, they work half day. And then the other team comes in the other half of the day, and then they work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And on that Wednesday, it's a really important day because it's the day that we get our scorecard. So we sit and we review the results of our scorecard, and then we also talk about what's going well, where we can improve, who needs to take away what responsibilities. So in our meeting, we sat down and we looked at this sheet and we said, hey guys, these are all the things, and this is kind of how we have bucketed as the manager and me. I want you guys to walk away and think about what will be the right fit for you if you were looking on to take more responsibility for my company if I don't replace the manager. I'm the owner. At the end of the day, the decision is up to me, but I'm being open and honest and transparent with you guys that you have the opportunity to possibly earn a little bit more money, possibly, and to learn a new skill. So I let that marinate. I let them walk away. I let them think about it. I let them get together on their own and talk about it. And I told them, I said, I'm never going to put you guys into a role where you're not going to be successful. So I think you need to be really honest with yourself and say, hey, what can I do really well? And as I look at this list, what are the things that excite me? Within a week, they all came back to me and I knew who was going to take what role because I knew what their strengths were, but I needed them to go through that exercise and establish that themselves versus me directing them. And having angst over why did this person get this role? Why did that person get that role? So they came back to me, and we sometimes do our Wednesday meetings over lunch. I'm a big, 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 big food person. I believe that community connection, authenticity happens over a dining table. And so a lot of times in Miami, it's this place called Flanagan's, and it's like wings and beer. And it's funny to be able to be drinking beer and eating wings with your boss on a Wednesday, but it brings fun and humanity to what we're doing because it's a tough job to be in the Amazon world, Amazon delivery world. So we came back and we just talked about, hey, all right, who's doing what? They split up the duties, great. And then I had one-on-one meetings with each of them. And I said, okay, these are my expectations for you in this role. And they had 30 days to prove it to me. So I provided them coaching. I provided a document that said, here's where you're missing the ball. And it was public information, so all 4 of them could see it. I would say, guys, you didn't do this last night. This was this person's responsibility. You didn't coach this. You didn't. And the list was big the first week, like giant. And they could all see it. And then they all got together on their own and they met and they said, you guys, we got to get our stuff together if we're going to get these jobs. And they did it. I was tough. I was direct with them, but it was open, honest, and transparent. And for me, that leadership is foundational in any organization because that's how I treat my supervisors. That's how I treat my drivers. That's how I am as a person. And so the more that you can build that into the DNA of your organization, the more you can watch these people, your team members flourish. So they walked away and they had known that they had an opportunity to improve. And then after that, it was like a plant sprouting. It was like when a horse is born and the horse like stands up and starts walking. It was really, the next couple weeks really became that. And I just started encouraging them and saying like, yes, this is what I need to see. Great job, you guys. And highlighting and having open, honest conversations with them constantly. And then at the end of the 4 weeks, the 30 days, we had a conversation about money. And they were moving from hourly employees, who sometimes got a bonus, sometimes didn't, to salary employees. And so I sat down with each of them and I said, you guys, you're moving from an hourly employee. This is not McDonald's where everybody at McDonald's makes, I think it's $11 an hour now, at least in Miami. I saw a billboard or a banner the other day about it. I don't know how you live in Miami on $11 an hour. But this said, they essentially got the opportunity to understand that they're moving from an hourly position where they don't all make the same amount of money to a salary position where they might be making more or they might be making less than some of their peers. And it is their responsibility to hold that information to themselves. And I pay based on somebody's experience and also the complexity of the work that they have to do. And the jobs were not the same. Scheduling people and having coaching conversations is a very different job than counting the uniforms. So we talked about it one-on-one. I talked about, of the 4 of them, I took 2 of them and made them as like more senior supervisors, and those are the ones got paid a little bit more and their responsibilities were more, and they're the ones that I go to immediately when I need something. And the more junior staff members, they were the ones that basically understood that they would be making a different rate of pay. And I said, this is between you and your spouse, and that's it. And you guys have the opportunity for pay increases once a year based on your performance. And do you have any questions? And so as you all look at your organizations, I just want to encourage you to make sure that when you're looking at opportunities for losing somebody, collecting all of that information. And then as you're looking at growing your existing team members, do they have the capability to take this on? Taking the objective duties into one bucket and then taking the humanity into the other bucket and going, okay, where could this possibly fit? And also ensure that your team members know that you want success for them. So you want them to be successful, and you will be open and honest and transparent on when they're doing great and when they're missing the mark. And so the more that I am able to create that culture within my organizations, then they are going to model that with my drivers. They know what my standards are. An example would be one of my fleet manager is now going to be responsible for talking with suppliers and vendors and money and things like that. So in my conversation with him, I trust this gentleman with all my heart. But I said to him, I said, hey, you're taking on a new role now. And part of that role means you are going to be talking to people about money. So vehicle repairs. I said, if at any point in time you ever attempt to get a kickback from any of these suppliers, that would be the end of your career with me. And I said it straight in his eyes. I said, I'm not saying this as an implication that I don't trust you. It's just saying something so that you understand my position on this. This is a non-negotiable. I love you. I care about you. And I just want to protect you. And he reassures me, no, you never have to work. I said, okay, I'm saying it to everybody because this is a part of your world now. And so I just think that it's a really good opportunity for you guys to continually have open and honest conversations with your team, and to be looking at your organization in a different way as essentially the foundation of you being able to move. My husband and myself are huge Tony Robbins fans. Being able to move from an operator to an owner. Could I have not replaced my ops manager and stayed doing a lot of his duty and kept all the information and knowledge? Yes. But how does this help my team grow? So how do I take a portion of what he was making and split that up amongst my team members and encourage them and teach them and coach them and allow them to think differently than I think? Because they're going to see a way to do fleet maintenance that would never occur to me. So I got four brains where it would have just been mine and a little bit more money in my pocket. And I am also given the ability to be able to step away. Is that I say to them, and many DSP owners, if you're an Amazon DSP, think about this, is that I make it clear to them on the weekends I'm with my family because that's a priority. And so I have 2 dispatchers on Sunday and 2 dispatchers on Saturday. And I said, guys, unless there's blood or something's on fire, you shouldn't be calling me. You are capable of handling the situation. Don't call me if somebody doesn't have a uniform. Don't call me if somebody showed up late. Don't call me if somebody gave you attitude. Document it, deal with it, and prove to me that you guys are true leaders. So I just want to encourage you guys to start digging into your organizations, start building SOPs. Start with little baby steps of having open, honest, caring, loving conversation with your team members, and look at every single movement that happens within your organization and go, okay, could this be an efficiency, but not an efficiency to put more money into my pocket, an efficiency to allow somebody else an opportunity and to grow. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I gave you guys my email address. Please subscribe, please share. I'm going to start posting some more videos about different topics. Let me know what you want to hear about mom life, about entrepreneurship, about wifeship, about teams, about personal development. Little by little, we'll start building some content and hopefully learning from each other on the way. Okay, have a great day. Woo! I'm going out to load out 31 vans today. 31 drivers driving the packages down the street. And let me tell you how many packages I have today. I have 8,436 packages. And I got to employ 31 people. 31 people today. That's a pretty good thing. Uniforms, paid for. Health benefits, paid for. $16.50 an hour in Miami, great. I pay my drivers bonuses, great. So let's celebrate the small wins about being a business owner and entrepreneur. It's the fact that I get to give Carlos, Osnet, Mike, Michael, Manuel, Lisandra, Nick employment today. Like, that's huge. And for me, I'm going out in the yard in about 10 minutes to talk to them because that brings me fire. I want to know every single thing about these people. I want to know about their kids. I want to want to know what's going on in their personal life. I have 30 minutes with them before they get on the road for 8 to 10 hours. And so I want to do everything that I can to connect to them. So take that away. I hope it's a little bit of fire and excitement to your day. See ya.